All right, how's it going, Erica?
Hello, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. Good. Crazy schedules. I know we always have crazy schedules. How's this week been for you?
We just started our spring workouts for our like 4 to 5 week spring session. And it's been just me and the other assistant coach. So uh I've actually been able to lead a lot more drills and practice, and that's been fun. But like you said, we're busy. So I'm just getting back in the swing of those 5 a.m. wake ups and getting in the gym ready for practice.
Yeah, I feel you. I've been up at 5 a.m. every day the last like 4 days. Oh, and I mean, I do that every week, but not this consecutive. It's always been
Yeah.
different. But man, I feel you. I'm tired. I bet you are too. With that said, let's talk about the important things here. Um, What's been going on in your organization recently that you think that has been hard to kind of accustom to? Is there anything that sticks out?
Absolutely. I am in a transition phase right now where I'm almost done with my master's program. We completed our season, so we're entering the off season. Um, and I have to figure out my plans for the next academic school year. As of right now, my intentions were to graduate at the end of summer. So take my last couple classes in the summer sessions, graduate, and then be a free bird to get hired at whatever school has a coaching opportunity for me. Now, where things changed, my boss renewed my GA agreement for the 26-27 school year before talking to me about it. So I feel like I got forced into a position that I didn't plan on being in longer than just 1 year. Um, is it the end of the world? No, but I'm not really feeling it because that means um from August till next May, I'll be doing exactly what I did this year. I'm living in the dorms again. I'm going to have to continue to work my part-time job because my GA agreement doesn't pay me. Um, and I would have fall semester where I have to balance those last two classes plus our basketball schedule plus the part-time job. And I've been fighting for my life this past semester trying to do all of that. And what's been helping me get through that is, Erica, it's only for one semester. And now I'm like, it's going to be for another. It's not that I can't do it, it just wasn't my initial plan.
Hmm.
And not really feeling how she made that decision without talking to me about it first. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to game plan, and I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't want to leave Irvine. I love my team. I love my girls. Do I miss my family at home? Yes. Would I rather be closer to my long distance boyfriend? Yes. Um, but I understand you got to do what you got to do. But I just really don't want to be a GA next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's seriously really hard. I know what it's like to make a crazy big decision or what feels like in that moment like an extremely huge life-changing decision, which in many cases it is for you. Like that's how it feels, that's how it is, that's how it presents itself. That's what one option is, and that's what the other option is. So you kind of feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place with a decision here. I feel you on that. That's really hard. Um, I think the first step in this is identifying like your approach, and I think that you display a lot of things that I recognize to be what's called the writer from the Heath brothers and their writing and their framework. You have a very logical, methodical, thought out plan about what you want your education to look like, where you want to live. You want a little bit, not, I wouldn't say control, but you want to have a say in what you do. in your life the next potentially next year.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, who doesn't, right? But I
Yeah.
feel like you're going with a very logical approach. I am so similar when it comes to that. Like I plan so many things out way ahead of time and like it's got to be done this way because this is the smartest way, right? Got to be logical about it. So I definitely see that in you. Um, Overcoming this issue, I think there's two parts. There's one part is maybe there needs to be a conversation had with, um, you know, your partner or one of the fellow coaches here about why that was allowed in the first place.
Hmm.
Basically, doing your agreement for next year, because that sounds like it's something that is maybe a bigger, like a pretty big problem on like an administrative side, or like you said, like you had like a forced commitment there, and
Yeah.
that wasn't your intentions, that wasn't your plan, and maybe if that wasn't even in play here, you'd be looking elsewhere already, or
Hmm.
you'd be planning to when to go back and whatnot. Um, so I see that as a pretty large problem, and like I said, I think it might just have to be a conversation for clarity and understanding, so that way you can at least clear the air with her, and then you can worry about your decision on whether you want to stay or on whether you go home down the road. Now, um, like I said, I couldn't imagine what it's like to be far away from home, your loved ones, and you know, continue this path or this journey of what seems like such a struggle right now. You're doing the accelerator program, you're working a part-time job, you're also coaching, which is another job, but you need some money, so you actually got to get that other part-time job. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot going on here. Um, Obviously, my biggest advice to you to work through this would be give it to the Lord. I know you do. Continue with that. If it's supposed to be done, or if it's in his will, it will be done. And if it's not, it won't.
Yeah.
And from like a really logical, organized, pre-planned thinker to another, I think that I get caught up in the negatives or the buts, like, but I had this plan, but I wanted this to happen, but it was supposed to be this easy. However, if you switch your thinking over to now the positives for the what ifs, well, what if I did stay? What would happen then? Well, schoolwork might feel a little less, right? You're kind of expanding it out, or maybe you at least give yourself the summer to relax.
Hmm.
Uh, and if you're here from fall to spring coaching, maybe you'll end up finishing in spring rather than just summer or late summer, however that works out. So maybe school will feel a little less. I don't know. Um, Maybe it'll open up your schedule and you get more time to work. Or maybe it's the experience that you need to find that next job, that next position. If your goal is D1 coaching for women's basketball, then maybe they want to see, um, 2 seasons of GA on your belt. I'm not sure if you've done more coaching in your past, but when it comes to at least GA, you know, that's more experience. And if it's another 4 months of coaching to get that much more of a, I like this applicant over this applicant, then maybe it's worth it. Obviously, what yanks at my heart is the loved ones, your boyfriend, all the way up there and up north. But I think whatever's supposed to happen will happen, and just be in prayer and switch your thinking. Because when you switch that, like we just talked about, now you'll see them as opportunities, right? You have an opportunity to go home and maybe find another job where you find yourself more satisfied. You just graduated, you're on track with what you wanted. Or the other opportunity is more experience, maybe, maybe a little bit more grit with the 5 a.m. mornings,
Right.
uh, right? And but then you get, a potential job that you might not have had before if it weren't for it. So it's not easy. It will never feel easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Um, but you should maybe the next time that kind of comes across your mind, try to trick it into a feeling of excitement instead of anxiousness or
Mm,
stress. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Receive that stress in a positive way.
Yeah.
And like, well, like either way, is it a blessing? We can all agree to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It changes your issue into a blessing, and that's important. And that's what's going to get you through it. And whatever happens is this big in your long career, right? Or this big in your huge life. Like,
Yeah.
so what feels big now, which is still big, and will forever have some kind of, meaning to, your story will, maybe change down the road. So my that's my little spiel and advice to you is to kind of just give it to God and let it play itself out. I don't know what your time frame is on a decision, but I think it's pretty quick because summer classes
Yeah.
have are up for registration. But hey, man, you might be able to wake up tomorrow morning and like, you know what? Let's do it. But I'm praying for you, and I hope it works out. I know it will either way. So, with that said, is there anything else you want to talk about? Any other issues, maybe?
No, this is actually, I'm trying not to laugh because God works in the funniest ways. And you actually just clocked me. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, why am I actually stressing about this? But I actually really like the switching my outlook on the situation. And instead of it being a but or the what if and all that, like see it as an opportunity and try to, that doesn't mean like take away from the negative that I'm feeling, but just let the positives outweigh that, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm just very grateful that you were hearing me out and that you walked me through that or walked with me through that. Um, because I definitely needed to hear that. So thank you.
Yeah, praise God.
Yes, amen. All the time.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, cool. Well, I think that ends our discussion there.
Yes,
So
checklist time.
yeah, the checklist. Here we go.
Um, I think you did really good. I um actually think that was one of your better ones because we've been partners before. I think
Mhm.
that was one of your better ones with like summarizing what I said to you
Mhm.
and then acknowledging or identifying the emotions that I was conveying to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely felt the empathy for sure. Present, available 100%. Um, Humble approach, also a check with you sprinkling in like your experience with it. I didn't feel that you were coming off as, oh, this is how I did it and this was the right way. Like it was definitely genuine, you know? Um, you asked follow-up questions. You definitely had the positive vision. And you gave me an actionable assignment, which is to pray.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, similar to yours, I'm very, very thankful that I got to talk to somebody about this that isn't in my everyday life because you can see it just for what it is. But like it's so different when I talk to Tyler about it, when I talk to my dad, when I talk to my best friend, because they hear all my complaints, they see everything that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Um, but yeah, I am just really thankful. I
Yeah.
feel much more at ease with that. I do have a couple conversations planned with like my coach friends that have been in the game for a long time just to get their input on what I should do. Um, but with what you just said, like I'm going to approach those conversations of like, this isn't a boom, 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 like I need this now. When's the next opportunity? Who can hire me? It's just a gathering information and
Yeah,
just to make the best decision and let God do what he does.
right. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to hear that, you're able to receive that. Um, and yeah, that was an awesome, genuine conversation, and I'll be praying for you, and um, I'm eager to hear about what happens, really. Um, so yeah, keep me updated. That was great. I'm glad that we can help each other out, and yeah, always enjoy having a homework partner uh
Agreed.
with you, Erica. It was great.
Yes. Thank you. I'm going to